Hi, I'm Kara Fleck-Pluinski with Transportation Services. I'm about to speak with Ami Oberg, the creator of the Dots Art Park installation, Turtle Trash. Ami is a sophomore film studies and journalism major. They are a participant in the Jimenez Porter Writers House and Art Scholars programs, and they just started sculpting this year. Ami's piece shows us how recycling can be more than just sorting trash. It's an opportunity to think outside the box and create art. Hi, Ami. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am well, thank you. I'm excited to speak with you about Turtle Trash, your piece for the art park. And I've put together a slideshow so everybody at home can see what we're talking about today. Um, my first question for you is, what inspired this piece?
Um, I think my inspiration was rooted in the like requirements for the art park and this project because I wanted to see what creativity was like brought upon by being confined to certain restrictions with it being outside and everything.
And there are definitely confines when it comes to working within the environment. Can you tell me a little bit about how you approached that with your piece?
Um, so for one, the piece is pretty much waterproof. A lot of it I made while it was raining because it was just raining a lot last week. So all of the spray paint has like a finish on it, and nothing should it should be able to stand the weather, and then everything's weighed down, so it should be able to deal with the wind. And the tree like works with the wind and stuff like that.
I love it. I love how you actually really leverage the outdoors with this. So I'm going to go to the next slide and give everybody a 360 view of your piece. There's a lot happening here. So tell me about what we're seeing.
So on the left, this is like an almost Dr. Seuss like tree made out of bottles with like an actual branch from one of my trees outside that fell down recently, threw it, and yarn. And then the turtle is made out of a bunch of recycled plastic, cardboard, and cans. And I just thought it'd be nice to do a turtle because UMD, and they're very cute.
They are very cute. So I have a close up, and I'm really curious, how did you get all of these bottles to stick together?
So a lot of things were super glue,
Hmm.
like the bottles, like the legs,
Hmm.
and individual bottles to each other.
Hmm.
But a lot of it was also just spray paint because the way it dries, it like held everything together. I didn't have to glue the shell bottles to the cardboard at all because it just like dried together really tightly. So that was nice. But just
One, th-
super glue.
one thing that struck me when I went to go see it was from afar, it looks so seamless. It was only until I got up closer that I noticed that this was made from recycled bottles and the cardboard, and even the mop that is the tree.
Yeah.
So, what is your strategy for weighing it down? I noticed that the tree actually has some plants and dirt in the bottom part. How about for the turtle?
The turtle actually has a lot of dirt too. It's just not as visible. So like the legs are all filled with dirt. And some of the bottles on the back have dirt, but some of them also have water. Um, that's pretty much it. I've just been gardening a lot, so I had a lot of extra dirt.
Yeah. So, many of our participants have chosen sustainability as their theme and have used recycled materials to create their pieces. How did you obtain all of these recycled bottles? And tell me more about your assembly process at home.
So the bottles I just got on recycling in my neighborhood when everyone had their recyclables put out. I didn't need to like ask too many people about it because I didn't need that many. Um, like a lot of the plastic bottles were just from my house. My mom knew I was doing this, so she didn't put out the recycling for a week. So we had a bunch of extra bottles. And as far as assembly goes, I did it in my driveway at home. I had my brother help me. It was just a lot of waiting between like coats of spray paint to dry so that I could flip things over or apply like color over a primer. Then after that, it was waiting for super glue to dry. So yeah, lots of waiting.
Yeah, and I know when the weather can be changing so much during the month of April that you may have to wait a little bit longer for something to dry or move it out of the rain if it's wet. Tell me what made you want to be part of the art park.
Um, I honestly just like doing different art projects, so I like was excited to have an opportunity to do something different. I don't think I've been in an art exhibit since like elementary school, so it was fun to have something to work towards with an art project. And I've also recently been starting to get into like clay sculpting, and I'm taking like a wire sculpting workshop. So I've been more interested in like 3D art. So it felt like a fun opportunity to explore that more.
So it sounds like you've been creating art for your whole life. Um, how did you get into that?
I've always been a storyteller, and I got into writing pretty early, but before I could write, I just drew picture books. And then, yeah, both of my parents are artists, so I think it was just always very accessible and encouraged. And I have always grown up knowing that I'm an artist.
And what inspired you to start sculpting? Which I'll say I was so impressed to learn that this is the first piece you've done on this scale because it's so well put together. Um, how did you get involved in this particular art form?
Thank you. I feel like I have a few different influences. Um, I've always thought clay was really fun, but I've never been any good at it. My younger brother has taken a lot of ceramics classes, so I've gotten to learn a few techniques from him. So that's been influential. And then I have a friend who is an animator, so she's really good at 2D art, and we make like I'll write for cartoons for her a lot. But we've been thinking about doing stop motion, and it's exciting to me to be able to help with the animation project, like the animation process. So I'd like to be better at sculpting so I can potentially do stop motion things.
Well, I look forward to seeing what you do next.
Thank you.
Um, so for my last question, it's two parts. What have you enjoyed most about this project, and what do you hope viewers will take away from seeing your piece?
I think what I enjoyed most was seeing it come together because for the majority of the process, it did just look like a pile of trash. I was just spray painting trash. So at the end, it was really exciting that like the turtle looks really cute. I'm very happy with it. Um, so I think that was my favorite part. And then I think, or I hope that people take away just that having confinements isn't necessarily a negative thing, and it can strengthen creativity when you have to work within certain requirements or with certain boundaries.
Well, thank you, Ami, for speaking with me today. I love your piece. If anyone is interested who's watching today in visiting Turtle Trash in person, it's located in the parking lot by H.J. Patterson, and it will be up until May 11th for the Dots Art Park Initiative. Thank you again, Ami, and I will talk with you soon.
Thank you.
It was great speaking with you, Ami. If you would like to visit Turtle Trash, it's located in the lot by H.J. Patterson until May 11th. This piece is part of the new initiative from Transportation Services, the Dots Art Park. For more information, visit our website.